Morning, everybody. 19th of July, and another day in my daily diaries of looking after my wife with Parkinson's and dementia. Last night was a pretty good night. When I got Angie to bed originally, it was awful. She wouldn't stop, and it was 2 o'clock by the time I managed to get in bed. But after that, no, she was fine. Fine. Didn't wake up at all. I glanced once or twice, make sure things were all right, but no, she did. She was fine. She was great. So even though I only had a few hours, because I was up at 7:15 again. Even though I had a few hours kip, it was I could do with more of them. So yeah, it was good. I'll give her an 8 o'clock tablet, but of course having to wake her up, she's all restless again now. Legs are going and grunting and moaning and groaning and humming. But we'll see what today brings. It's actually just starting to rain slightly, just drizzling a little bit, so I might end up running in if it comes down. But going back to yesterday, well, before I tell you about the visits I had, was after we'd been out in the afternoon. Again, she started off okay yesterday morning. I got her up in time, and I was actually still giving her a breakfast when the occupational therapist turned up, the two of them. So I was still feeding Angie a porridge and fruit. But of course, sod's law, after that, she was having a pretty good day. I think because he was talking to her, and she was actually being able to conversate, or answer, and really could hear what she was saying. So I thought, well, that's sod's law. And then they was having to sort of do things, and of course, Angie being Angie, trying to do stuff for herself. She was able to hold my hand and pull herself up, which she can at times. And it's like, even though we'd had a discussion, right, Angie, we need to sort of let them see properly on this, but Angie was just trying to be Angie as she was, not show weakness type of thing. So they didn't really get to see a worse or even a normal. They seen it on a good time, So I don't know. It's weird the way she did it, but they said I can't get one of these beds yet, which I was a bit disappointed, but I understand really, because like they said, they can't just turn out to new patients, because that's what we are now, and give out free beds. It's too costly. They have to go through a procedure first. So I'm getting a slidey thing what I can put her on and slide it onto the bed, and they explain a few things, but I don't know. I'll see when it comes. It's being delivered on Wednesday next week with that and some sort of a commode thing where I can, instead of me putting her in a wheelchair and wheeling her to the toilet and then getting off a chair onto the toilet, I could just put her straight on this and wheel it, and it fits over the toilet or something. So I don't know. I'll see. But it's not such a big issue to get her off the chair. But sometimes it's once you get into a routine, it can be better just to stick with what you've got. But we'll see. I'll jump through the hoops, as they say, and then start pushing for this bed. They did say because you've got a bed, even though it's high, they might sort of change the mattress. But with it being a double bed, again, it's awkward. If there were two single beds, you said, or if you didn't have a bed. And I thought, that bloody removal firm that I'm using when we do move, I'm sure they're notorious for damaging beds. So anyway, like I said, I'll jump through hoops and do whatever I need to do for the time. But the adult social care woman was extremely nice. Extremely. I mean, the other two were nice. Well, Heidi herself was really. She's upping my care plan. So I'm now going to get 2 days where Angie goes to the day centre. So I've picked for Monday and Thursday. Gives a bit of breaking it up. So she's going to check whether there's just available space for the Thursdays. Also, she gave me the option of if I want 7 days a week of carers coming in the morning and getting her up, washed and dressed, like a 45-minute spell. So I said, well, no, leave it, because weekends can be funny sometimes, if she wants to stay in bed. So, and that's I'm okay at that. So I'll pick for 3 days, the 3 days during the week that she's not going to be at the day centre. So that'll be Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning and Friday morning. So that'll be a big help. I know it's only 45 minutes, but you know, it's a start. It's a start, and that was. And she's given me some extra units that I can use up. One unit being a 3 hour stint where I can phone up and say, well, next week I need to go and do such and such thing, or I just, you know, on Friday I need to just chill for a bit. Can I get somebody in for 3 hours? Yeah. Or even I could use 2 units and get somebody to come and sit in for 6 hours. So that was a massive plus. So really pleased about that. So yeah, she's getting all that sorted out. So on Monday, because it's weekend now, she tried to get onto it yesterday, but there was like Friday afternoon, so no chance. So at least it's it's going in the right direction. So yeah, I'm pleased about that. And like I said, and I can, if needed, I can get it up to 7 days a week. I don't know about the, maybe using one of them. Sorry, 1 minute. To maybe get her undressed, washed, and in bed of a night time. So, but that'd be hard to do because of I don't want to go to bed type of thing, and I wouldn't want people coming in and having to force her, to go to bed. So, no, I don't think so. But at the moment, no, that was fantastic. When they'd left, I felt, a bit of a weight lifted off my shoulders, to be honest. And another thing that the occupational therapists have said they'll get in me is, I think it's called a rotunda. It's a contraption thing that it's, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's got a plate at the bottom, what you put Angie's feet on, and then she puts her knees up against it. It's all, somebody will come and adjust it all and make the right height to fit Angie. And then she can pull herself up on it, and there's a belt that goes round her. And then it can turn, either way then, so I can get her up out of the chair, turn her. I don't know, I mean, the way it sounded okay, but it also sounded a bit of a faff to me. And I can get her in the wheelchair to move her somewhere, to put her on the toilet, and it's, again, at least they didn't turn up and say, oh no, nothing. So yeah, again, I'll give it a go and see what, whatever. So yeah, overall it was very productive afternoon. A couple of hours. They got here dead on 1 o'clock, and the adult care, social care woman, Heidi, she was a little bit late. So the OT women had gone, by 2, and I didn't go till nearly 2:30. But yeah, very good productive afternoon. Put a little spring in my step in the afternoon, should we say. So I'm looking forward to that. Really looking forward. And then Jackie, the Parkinson's nurse, phoned me later on in the afternoon just to see how it'd gone on. It's, the system can be very good. It can be very good. The people who are working in the system are usually exceptionally good. It's the system itself, really, that stinks and needs changing. But then you start talking about money and what have you, so that's just a deep hole, isn't it? Then you're never ending. So yeah, so overall, a massive thumbs up yesterday afternoon. Massive thumbs up. Can't wait, and especially that second day at the day centre now. So yeah, because me and Angie had discussed it, and like I said in the past, she didn't want to go, but last couple of times I've mentioned it, she said yeah. So I think she's sort of seeing me getting stressed sometimes, and the things I might have said, and she did say to me at one point, I said, Angie, I need all this, I need some help, I can't. And she said, you do need help. That was Angie saying. That was last week or week before. So I think she's, yeah, brilliant. And then we went out meeting her sister Marilyn. Of course, it was later than usual, so we could just get Angie could only have a normal latte then because it was 5 to 3. And as usual, she can't eat for that hour before her tablets, which was due at 4. So unfortunately, she had to watch me eat a buttered scone. I had my cappuccino and my homemade buttered scone. The place where we go, they are homemade and they're really nice. They really are massive big scone. So we usually get one of them. and a homemade tea cake toasted, and of half each. So, like I said, unfortunately, I had to eat it all myself. And then we went up on the promenade to our usual cafe where they do really nice cappuccino, and we just sat out because it was lovely. We sat out, and Angie's sister, again, just did a bit of a conversating with Angie as best she could, and I just sat to one side, just give me another 15-minute break type of thing. But by that time, Angie was really tired. Eyes were shut. You know, Angie, come on, open your eyes, open your eyes. So, you know, even Marilyn, Angie, come on, open your eyes. And so she'd really long, stressful day by then. And then the bit of fun started after that, because we went and dropped Marilyn off. And it's Friday night. I said, Angie, we're just going to have a chippy tea. So, goes in the chippy. I left parts outside the chippy. Goes in chippy, gets, and she has a lightly battered fish and mushy peas. I just get chips and a spicy curry. Come out, and she'd locked the door from inside, Angie. And of course, I'd left the key in the car. I never do that. So normally I don't know, and that will never happen again. And she'd locked the door from inside. Angie, open the door. Angie, open the door. Knocking her. Angie, open the door. Come on. And she didn't know how to open the door. She's trying to press the window down. Of course, that won't go down because the ignition's not on. Angie, get the key out that, and she's trying to get it out. Right, press that button there, but she couldn't press it. Even the fella on the chippy, he come out. He's trying to help. Angie, nearly, over 15 minutes, probably nearly to 20 minutes. By that time, the fella in the chippy had gone back in. He said, give us your food, gone back in, I'll keep them warm. So eventually, I went round the other side, and I'm trying to guide a hand over to where the lever is to open the door. I remember it's a big Land Rover Discovery, this, so you can't just get in them, you know. Anyway, so eventually she managed to do it. So like I said, that'll never happen again. And he come out, he gave us some fresh fish and chips, which I thought was very good of him. But at one time, there was me, John the chippy man himself, and two fellas that had come and gone, going in and out of the chippy, all trying to, come up with ideas how to get in, and all knocking up window, trying to, Angie, do. So I think that might have been a bit overwhelming for her, because she kept looking at us all with a confused look on her face. Yeah, so, and then we come home, and she managed to chop it all up dead small, but she did manage to eat it herself off a spoon. Fish and mushy peas all sort of mashed up, but it ended up a bit sort of dry for her after it. So she did leave a bit, but she didn't need feeding with it. And then that was it then. The time I'd got her washed and in her pyjamas, she was, she wasn't watching the telly. I got her on the recline a bit, and then by 9:30, she was really going, legs were going, what she normally does in bed. Legs were going and hair twizzling and, noises she was coming up with. And then she said, Mike, hold my hand. So sat on the couch holding her hand, but she kept squeezing it really tight, really tight. She did that for nearly an hour. Every time I tried to pull away, she'd pull it back. So yeah, that was my day yesterday. So a bit of everything, but overall, yeah, very pleased with the way the meetings went. It's starting to come more than drizzle now. So anyway, I'm going to finish this. So yeah, we'll see what today brings. I'm not going to get her up purposely. If she wants to stay in bed, she can, I think, and then we'll see. We'll see what the day brings. So yeah, another positive day going forward. Yeah, so I'll do another one tomorrow. So as usual, please press your like buttons, follow me, send me your comments, and keep it all coming. So thank you very much for watching and listening. You take care now. Bye.